That was cheesy. Hey.
Just in case it freezes at that moment, because usually when we go live, we're like,
oh. Yeah, we're making stupid faces.
Your hand is up here because you're adjusting it. But.
Yeah.
Hello, people.
Hello. We're here for our Wednesday live video. Sorry we're a little bit late. We got a little off track.
Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully if you're watching this later on another type of video media. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention other products, but I'm going to share this right now so that way.
So anyway, tonight we're just going to talk super quickly about a topic that we have found to be super important in our relationship, which is sharing the load. And obviously what we mean here is, especially when it comes to like chores and duties around the home, it's super important to share the load because you never want to feel either, number one, like you're not in a partnership, or number two, like things are really unbalanced. When things feel really unbalanced, that's not very healthy for your relationship.
No, it
so
is
Scott
not.
will give you a little bit of an example of what we've been doing lately in our relationship to make sure that we're sharing the load, and it's a little bit of a change.
And while you do that, I'm going to log out so you can log in.
Okay.
Here, because it wouldn't let me do it otherwise.
Okay, anyway.
So, yeah, we've had a little bit of a change of pace. So, and when we lived back in the Chicagoland area, we had a 2-bedroom apartment, and it was just the two of us. And when we're talking about share the load, we're most specifically talking about kind of duties around the house, because everybody works, and everybody's got to get stuff done around the apartment, around the house, and everything like that. And depending on what type of place you live in, the chores could be on a more grand scale. If you own a house, you have to cut the grass, you have to, rake the leaves in the fall, and you have to shovel the snow and everything like that. When you're in an apartment, it's a little bit different, because it's a little bit more internal type things. So back when we were in the Chicagoland area, we kind of tried to split things evenly, as much as we could. I kind of did more of like the handyman type things and like, fixing things and changing light bulbs and, doing the dirty cleanup stuff like, the toilet and the,
I still did that too.
I know, but like
I'll tell you what chore I really didn't like. It was cleaning out the drain in the sink, the trap. I know you were trying to say that.
Like
I hated that.
Chewbacca.
That was the dirty chore I really didn't like.
Get this stuff goes down there.
Oh yeah, and the drain.
This stuff goes
no,
down
but the
there.
drain in the sink. I said like the food
I thought
drain.
You meant like in the bathtub.
No, the food drain. The food
so
drain.
that's part of it too. But yeah, I kind of did that stuff. The dishes we tried to split. We actually set it up to where we did. Every other day was our day or their day, and because we didn't have a dishwasher, so we had to wash dishes by hand.
We had to wash dishes by hand. So this is actually a point I want to hit on to give you real examples. So one thing that was actually kind of life-changing for us was doing dishes every other day. So for example,
Scott, we did the dishes every day, but one of us would do it.
Right. I was about to get there. So obviously Scott would do it like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I would do it, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then we would try to like switch off on Sundays. Yeah. And I know that might sound like a really like rudimentary or simple concept, but it actually really made like a big difference for us, I feel.
Oh yeah, because then when it's not your day that you don't have to like really worry about it, but it's still good, because the things are getting done. Other things that we would share, like I would, and that was gonna kind of get to this, I would do kind of the dirty handyman stuff, and you would do more of the laundry type stuff, just because I stink at doing laundry. It takes me forever to fold. Folder. I could fold towels like this. Thank you, RHF, for the training, because I can fold towels like nobody's business. But shirts and stuff and pants and like some of your clothes just they don't fold. They're like fitted sheets. They're not meant to be folded. Yeah. So hang those. But here's the thing: things have changed since we've come down here, because since I'm still looking for full-time work, I'm being a little bit picky. Because we could afford to be picky right now, and I refuse to work in a place where I'm not happy.
You shouldn't.
And Stephanie's going to work every day, and that
and
works,
I am happy at my job,
and it does work for us, for our situation. So I've kind of been more doing the day-to-day stuff around the house. I've been doing most of the cooking. I've been doing most of the cleaning.
Grocery shopping.
I've been doing grocery shopping. I have been going vacuuming. I've been really like upkeeping, which is kind of like my job right now. But Stephanie still helps when she can. She folded a couple of loads of laundry yesterday or the day before. She did the dishes the other day. And like, even though this is the arrangement that works for us, where because I'm home most of the day, that I'm getting most of the stuff done most of the time, she's still chipping in, and that really does help to have some balance in the relationship. Because even though, I kind of take on more of that responsibility now because of our situation. It helps. I mean, for me, we've talked about love languages in the past. My love language is acts of service. So when somebody's doing something for me, I feel so loved.
Feel so loved. And that's also the way he likes to show love, right? When it's your love language, it's not only what you like to receive, but it's usually the way that you tend to show it. So because his love language is acts of service, one of the ways that he shows that he loves me is trying to show up for me and help me. And lately that's specifically been with household chores and things like that.
And work stuff. I've been doing a lot of
work stuff. Yeah, he helps me stay organized and, do stuff online that I'm just struggling with or whatever. So one thing I think that is the point that we kind of want to hit home is whatever your situation is, whether you have a small apartment or a larger home, whether you have indoor or outdoor chores, don't just assume or expect that your partner is going to show up and do a certain thing just because it's maybe their traditional role or what they should do or whatever you think. Don't should all over yourself. Don't should all over your relationship.
Don't should all over them. It's just messy.
Don't should all over your partner. It's very messy. Don't should all over your relationship. You need to talk about what kind of things are expected of you guys around the home to keep it functioning, and do try to divvy it out. I know it sounds so silly to talk about dishes days.
It really does help.
But it made such a difference.
It really
dishes
helps.
days made such a difference for us.
That and that applies not just to couples. If you have kids, if you have kids that are like 4 and older, they say 3 and 4-year-olds can actually help out around the house.
Hi, Brett.
They say kids can actually help around the house and give them specific duties that they can do. Like a 4-year-old can take out the garbage from the bathroom, little garbage, and tie it in a knot. You can teach them how to tie it in a knot.
They can put their toys away in the toy bin.
They can put their toys away. They can, show them how to sweep. Teach them that's by teaching them that that's something that not only needs to get done but could also be fun, and making it a priority, it will not become a chore later on. And as they get older, they get more accustomed to that. I think we started chores, I was in like 5th grade. And my parents were kind of smart about that because, well, we should have been doing things more before that, but the way that they set it up was if we did our chores, we got an allowance, which we had never gotten before. But the whole point of the allowance was to give us money for an upcoming vacation that we had some spending money. So it actually did work, and we had different assigned duties, rooms or whatever. So, depending on the age of the kids, they can help in too. But if it's just 2 people, you got to divvy it up between you.
And of course, we don't have kids, so we don't want to pretend like we're the expert on that. Although I did nanny full time in the past. Soon.
Okay, not that soon.
No, not that soon. Don't get any ideas. This is not an announcement. Yes. God. But I did nanny in the
soon
past.
As in like this century.
Yeah, and I nannied for a little boy who was at the time he was like 2 and 3, and then eventually going on 4, and he was totally capable of doing so much more than you think a small child's capable of. So anyway, but to focus back on couples, basically, make it a priority in your relationship to talk it out, to come up with a plan, to decide who's better at what chores or activities, who's better at paying the bills, who's better at, doing the laundry or whatever, kind of what you enjoy to do. You're an expert after all. Thanks, Britt. Yeah, I guess, I have a little bit of expertise in the child rearing area. Hopefully that'll pay off one day, but in my own life. But yeah, so make it a conversation, make it a priority to talk about. Don't put your expectations on your partner without telling them. It's so much better to talk it out.
That comes back to communication, which we've talked about many, many times. Same thing with your kids. If you have kids or if you have other family members that live in the house, if you have, a parent that lives in the house and stuff, giving people responsibility and setting those expectations for yourselves and for each other kind of just brings the group together, and sit down and talk about it. Okay, what needs to get done? Because there's always going to be dishes. There's always going to be laundry.
There's always so many dishes.
There's always dust bunnies, on the floor. I actually said the other day we have a really nice vacuum. And I said I know we have a really nice vacuum, but the way that our apartment is set up right now, I said I would love to get one of those little robot sweepers.
He wants the robot.
I said because the way that the floor is and everything is the floor almost needs to be vacuumed every day or swept every day. And the Swiffer type thing wasn't really working, so we're getting into that. But there's there's other things that have to be done every single day or every other day, taking out the garbage and stuff like that, and the responsibilities change. So just kind of figure out what needs to get done, and when you divvy it up, it'll it'll feel more equal, it'll feel more balanced, and you won't, one person won't be standing there, scrubbing the pots and pans thinking, that a-hole is sitting on the couch watching
get off
TV
your butt.
again.
Oh, and let me tell you this as a little caveat. So even when we started doing
French.
this, I know, caveat. When we started doing this originally with like dishes days and stuff like that, so, I'm a woman, and sometimes I want things to be done exactly specifically as I want them done when I want them done. And I kind of realized that
wiping the counters.
Yeah, I kind of realized that, for example, when I would come home from work, I would jump right into doing some chores that were on my list, because if I sat down, I wouldn't want to get back up and do them. Whereas Scott, my lovely husband over here, when he came home from work, he wanted to chill for a little bit and sit, watch a show, decompress, and then go do the chores. And I'll be totally honest with you, it used to make me bonkers. I would see him sitting on the couch and be like, man, you ain't got to do? You ain't got shit to do? What you doing? And I used to get feisty about it, man. But the bottom line is, that was me putting an expectation I have for myself and what works for me onto him.
See,
that's
all these
crazy.
Things overlap.
All these things overlap.
Expectations.
Yes, all these things overlap. It was crazy for me to put my expectations onto him. That doesn't make sense. I like to do chores as soon as I get home because I know I just want to stay productive until I crash. He needs downtime. Why does he have to do the dishes, even if it's his day, on my time? Does that make sense? No. So when we talk about these sharing the load expectations, know that when you divvy these responsibilities up, let your partner do it on their terms. As long as they are getting it done and holding up their side of the agreement, let them get it done on their terms. It doesn't have to be on your terms.
And at the same time, if there's a specific way that you think it should get done, talk that out. With doing the dishes, when we first started doing the dishes day thing, I didn't think part of it was wiping down the whole counter and everything like that. I mean, unless you
includes wiping down the counter.
So Stephanie made that quite clear that is part of it, and now it has become a part of my routine, and I'm actually probably better at it than she is now.
Probably.
And everything like that. So yeah, talk about that stuff. It seems kind of silly, but
it's not.
When you bring things out into the open and talk about them, it just makes everything else that much easier. Again, communications, expectations.
Don't shit all over each other.
Don't shit all over the place. And, just talking about things makes everything so much easier.
So much easier.
We're
not perfect. We still totally put expectations on each other and expect the other one to be a mind reader and don't tell them.
Now that I'm at home, cleaning everything up, she might put a cup down and I'm like, excuse me, I just wiped that counter.
And I'm like, whoops.
And it's tough to not get a little bit protective when you feel like you're, kind of trying to keep things in your way. But also know that not everybody does things your way.
For me, when I take a shower, I always leave my pajamas or clothes on the floor until I'm fully done getting ready, and then I will take them out.
10 o'clock at night when it's time to put them back on.
Okay, that doesn't really happen anymore. It used to happen, but I try to be more considerate now. So I fully get ready and then I take my clothes out of the bathroom. But he just has to know that that's just what I do. I'm not gonna run out of the bathroom and put them in the hamper or wherever. It's just not my bag, and so he's chilled out about that. That's a girl thing. I've chilled out about the wiping the counters thing.
Most guys just walk to the bathroom in their birthday suit.
In the birthday suit.
I mean, unless you're have kids in the house or whatever, and you have to walk down the hallway.
That even happens with kids in the house, I think.
Yeah.
I know it does.
It used to happen when we were kids. My dad used to scream down the hallway.
When they're your own kids,
naked.
When they're your own kids, you're like, whatevs.
Oh,
right?
God, I just remember that, and it's not like he was running around the house naked, but he would literally scream that he was naked, and it was just
shout out to Al Podger.
But we only had one bathroom when we were kids, so I guess that was more of a warning. It's
with
hey,
7 people in the house.
6 most of the time until Alex was born, and then when Alex was born, a couple years after we put the addition on. But anyway, we're losing people.
We're talking too much.
Thank you for tuning in. Share the load. Talk it out with your partner, with your family, whoever you live with. There's always stuff that gets done around the house, and if you can set kind of a list of what needs to get done and when. And
the expectations.
Then everybody could chill, Obviously, you don't live on a farm and you don't have to, milk the cows and feed the chickens and all that, but...
I shouldn't do that on video. Forgive me.
We'll edit that part out. So, hopefully everybody has a great Wednesday night.
Wednesday night.
Excuse me, and a great rest of the week. Comment below.
Share this video if you liked it.
Check us out.
Because we like you.
Check us out on the used tubes. I don't know if we're allowed to say that.
Boob tube.
Okay,
we're going to let you go.
if you guys have any topics or anything, questions, things you want to talk about, things that we might not have talked about, let us know. Shoot Steph an email. Check out theempoweredlife.co.
.co.
And we'll check in with you later.
All right. Bye, guys. Have a good night.
Peace.